Hey guys, it's Charlene. I'm switching things up a little bit today and showing you some previously released items from Whimsy Stamps. And I'm also going to show you how to make a large die cut the center point of your card. So the stamp set I'm using today is the Gnome Get Well stamp set. It's really cute. It has 3 different sweet little gnomes, and then it has some really great Get Well sentiments. So I've stamped out, and off camera I colored one of the sweet gnomes, and I did stamp out 2 sentiments, which I'm cutting out with the quick strip die set. Now this is the showstopper here for the card. This is the Slimline Big BooBoo die set. And this has actually been out of stock for a little while and been on pre-order. Hopefully by the time the video airs, it will be available again, but this set has been going like crazy. People love this set. So that's why I had been holding off on doing a video on it, but I know they were coming in towards the end of February, beginning of March. So hopefully they will be there by the time this airs. If not, you can definitely pre-order, and I'll link down below to everything if you have any interest in doing that. So this die set is super cute. You can see here it has this giant Band-Aid, which is just so cool. And I've cut 3 of them out in blue cardstock, and I'm going to stack them up. I know that seems like overkill, but really it just is going to add some really nice dimension on the card without actually adding a ton of bulk. It'll still go just fine in a regular slimline envelope, and it's just going to really look nice on the front of the slimline card. So once I get those all lined up and adhered together, I am going to do some ink blending around the edges of the die cut. This is a great way to make a die cut stand out on your card, a large die cut like this. And oftentimes you'll see people do this technique when they're distressing things. So they'll come in and distress the edges of paper to make them look older or things like that. But you can also do it with colored ink along the edges of your die cut in order to make it pop. It's kind of like the concept of putting a shadow behind something. You're just creating your own shadow with ink. So you can see there how cool that looks. And now I'm gluing it to a piece of Slimline Enchanted Forest paper. This is a cool paper pack. It's got all these different kind of forest scenes, and I thought this would go really well with that sweet little gnome who obviously lives out in the forest and is not feeling well. So I'm going to glue this on there, and I'm making this card from my grandfather. He's going through another round of chemo, so I'm sending this off to him, and hopefully it will bring a smile to his face. So I'm making the card a little bit more masculine, and I'm using kind of shades of blue, and I've got that sweet little gnome, and then I've got this like kind of woodsy background. So I think it works really well. You could pair this with lots of different Get Well sets. Like this die set would work perfect for all kinds of different sets. Now I'm trimming off the edge of the paper, and I'm doing it at an angle. So that way I'm kind of cutting behind the large die cut. So that way I'm not going to have any of that paper peeking out on the side. So you can see I've almost got my scissors parallel to the big die cut as I'm cutting. So that's a great way to do that. And you can see there, look how far underneath I was able to cut. Now I am going to go ahead and use some liquid adhesive. I'm going to just adhere this on the front of a slimline card. That's 3.5 by 8.5, and I've already cut it out and scored it. And I'm just centering it on there. And once I get it where I like it, I'll go ahead and press it down, and I'll get my little gnome and my little Get Well Soon and Thinking of You adhered on the top of the card. So here's a tip: when you are adhering large die cuts like this, kind of hold one side down while you are kind of working your finger on the other side to press it down, because I have had it happen in the past where the whole thing moves on me, and then it's kind of a pain in the butt to try and get it straightened out. Maybe your glue has already started drying. So that I think is kind of helpful. So now I'm coming in, I'm adhering the Thinking of You on the top left. I'm going to adhere the Get Well Soon on the bottom right. Then I'm going to adhere that sweet little gnome on the bottom right corner of the little scene. So that way we don't block too much of what's going on behind. Now you also could put like just a regular piece of pattern paper behind this, and it would look really nice. There's also the piece that actually cuts out in the center from the die cut. So you could like put a different color. You could do a different kind of paper, like a metallic or something. There's all kinds of different ways you could use this card. You could make it look like a more traditional Band-Aid by having it be in shades of brown or superhero paper to make it look like a kid's Band-Aid. I mean, there's so many things you could do here. It's a really cool die set. So once I get my little gnome adhered down there, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a few other items from the die set. I'm going to cut out 2 of the small Band-Aids. So I like that there are multiple different sizes of Band-Aids. So you can use this for Slimline cards, or you could use it for A2 cards, or any size card for that matter. And I like that it has all those little pieces separate, which is fun. So you can make multi-colored Band-Aids. This is perfect for a get well card, frankly. Once I get that little top piece of the Band-Aids adhered on there, I'm going to figure out where I want them on my card and go ahead and adhere them. Now in the Slimline Big BooBoo die set, there is a heart-shaped Band-Aid, a kind of standard size Band-Aid, a mini Band-Aid, a pair of lips that you could use, and then there's the large Band-Aid die cut. So there's lots of different things going on there. I could think of like 20 different cards just off the top of my head that I could make with this, and it pairs really well with pretty much any get well stamp set. I think I already said that, but I just wanted to make sure to say it again because I think that's really cool. The other nice thing about this is that you could use it for anybody, kids, grown-ups, doesn't matter. Anyone can appreciate a giant Band-Aid. I mean, come on, it's just cool. This die set's cool. Anyway, now once I get my little mini Band-Aids adhered where I like them on the card, I'm going to go ahead and cut out a standard size Band-Aid, and I am doing that in the same blue paper that I used for the large one, and then I'm going to use the white to do the top piece. Now I have cut this out because I'm going to adhere it on the inside of my card. I have been trying to get much better at putting things inside my cards, as you guys have seen. I'm going to use a sentiment from the same set. And here's a tip. If you have an acrylic block like this that you're going to be using to stamp words, line your words up on something that has a grid, and then adhere your acrylic block to the words rather than trying to get them straight on the block, which can be really, really hard to do. It's much easier if you line them up first on something and then put your block on top to pick them up. Now I'm just going to stamp off on a scratch piece of paper because since I am doing this freehand, I want to make sure I don't mess it up on the inside of my card. It's not the end of the world if I were to mess it up. Something you can always do is just cut out another piece of paper, maybe a colored piece of paper or something like that, and you could cover up a mess up and try again. So now I'm going to go ahead and stamp in the center. You can see I've taped down the corners of the card just because I want to make sure that it doesn't move around on me as I'm trying to get it down and have it be centered. So let that sit for a minute and then I pull it up. Then I can go ahead and adhere the Band-Aid on the inside, and that's just going to bring a touch of the outside to the inside of the card. If you've seen my videos lately, I've been doing this a lot. I try to put some pattern paper that I used on a card. I try and put that on the inside, or I try and at the very least try and stamp some type of greeting in there. And on the Slimline card, you will absolutely have plenty of room to put things inside and then still have plenty of room to write whatever your personal message is. All right, guys, well, here is my finished card. I hope you like it. I think my grandfather's gonna really like it. I think he'll get a kick out of that sweet little gnome. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell so I can continue bringing you crafty content in the future. I really do appreciate it, guys, because it helps my channel so much. I hope you find some time to craft today, and until next time, happy crafting.